Thank you for joining us on the newsfeed. My name's Izzy Price.
I'm James Jacoby.
It's 1 o'clock.
And the newsfeed starts now.
For nearly 40 years, Fort Worth's Omni Theater was a hot destination for those who wanted to experience the 180-degree dome ceiling, and it was a hit for kids all across North Texas. The museum wants to bring that experience back, but better than before, by converting the dome into one giant 8K LED dome that will create an immersive experience like nothing most of us have ever seen. The current IMAX projector will stay intact when the upgrade is completed. You'll walk into the newly reimagined digital dome for the first time. The museum will have a venue that is truly interactive. It will be a very versatile theater with a number of opportunities.
Intercepted guns at airports are on the risk, but not all airports are equal. Atlanta takes the top spot for most firearms. The Transportation Security Administration reports 448 guns were found at the city. Airports last year. Texas was also high on the list, the DFW and Houston filing in number 2 and 3 slots. The TSA stopped more than 6,500 guns last year, at 88% of those were loaded. UT is blocking access to TikTok on campus Wi-Fi networks. That means a popular social media app will be off limits to students and faculty while they're connected to university internet servers. Betty Cross has more from Austin.
When UT students and faculty checked their email today, they found out the TikTok app was banned and access blocked on university networks.
I was kind of surprised.
Lulu Sion is a sophomore at UT. She says she'd like more information about exactly why the app was banned. For now,
At least an hour a day, at least.
She says it might help her cut back on screen time.
Because it does get really addicting scrolling through it.
UT recently started removing TikTok from all university-issued cell phones, laptops, and desktop computers. Now the app is being blocked on UT networks. The email sent to students says the university is taking these important steps to eliminate risks to information contained in the university's network and to our critical infrastructure. It goes on to say, as outlined in the governor's directive, TikTok harvests vast amounts of data from its users' devices, including when, where, and how they conduct internet activity, and offers this trove of potentially sensitive information to the Chinese government.
I've never heard of social media being banned on campus before.
Bernice Ongtru is a junior at UT. She says she's not worried about potential privacy risks from the TikTok app.
I have data everywhere, or like my school knows my data. FAFSA knows my social security. I was like, what do I have to hide?
Other companies in the US like Facebook also have data on us and they use it to filter ads, so I don't think it's anything new.
Chicago police are looking for a group of suspected car thieves. One narrowly escaped being caught by riding on the hood of a getaway car. Stephanie Wade reports.
It happened around 2:20 p.m. Surveillance cameras from a nearby business capturing the whole thing. A crew was seen trying to steal a Jeep parked on Locust Street on the near north side.
We have auto theft in progress at Orleans and Locust.
Police pulled up and some suspects hopped into a gray Buick parked in front and took off. Another ran down Locust as seen in this video. He turns the corner onto Orleans, police chasing behind him. And take a look at this. That's when the suspect jumps onto the hood of a white getaway car and demands the driver start going. Police trying to stop it. You can see a Chicago police sergeant was hit in the process. Thankfully, he wasn't hurt. The white getaway car, though, then speeds off down the road with the man still holding onto the hood. Just 20 minutes later, Chicago police say another incident happened involving this same group. Suspects driving a stolen Infiniti slammed into a cargo van, lost control, and hit a lamppost just a few blocks away at Orleans and Erie Streets. They got away.
Coming up, retail continues to decline in sales, and a major company will begin some major layoffs. That and more when we return.
Jason, let's go see your room. slip it, cuff it, check it. Talk to doctor now and share it.
Get it? Slip it, cuff it, check it. High blood pressure silently affects millions of Americans. Staying on top of your blood pressure is as simple as these 4 easy steps. Self-monitoring is power. Visit manageyourbp.org to learn more.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff.
That's what white people think.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Parents in Indiana are outraged after an English teacher gifted their middle schoolers a book they're calling pornographic. And Katie has the details.
The teacher knew what she was handing the kids.
Crystal Murphy, a parent of a student at Coloma Junior High School, says her daughter's teacher distributed pornographic content to minors.
Hey, Mom, I received this book as a gift today from my teacher, and she said there was some inappropriate stuff in it. I looked it up online first, and what I saw, what it was explaining about the book, right off the bat, I was like, what?
The content, obscene language, and a sexually explicit scene describing oral sex in this book, Looking for Alaska, by Indiana author John Green.
I was appalled. I was disgusted because this book is absolutely disgusting and should not be material that's distributed to minors. And with parental consent maybe, but there was no emails, no prior knowledge of this book coming out.
It was given to 7th grade students as a late present after the holiday break.
What about the book appalled you?
All of it. The drug use, the explicit sexual language that's in this book. There's underage drinking in this book. There's foul language in general in this book. It's just not something that should be read by 12 and 13-year-old kids.
When we pollute our children's mind with this pornographic garbage, it messes up their minds of reality what sex is supposed to be about. It should be between a man and a woman when they get married.
Some parents tell me they were so disturbed they filed police reports.
If people are not aware of what is on the bookshelves in our public schools, they must be. They need to be made aware. The idea that a teacher can hand anything out that they want to is wrong.
My grandson received this book. It sounds more like I'm going on a trip looking for something in Alaska. Well, apparently this book, which I have not read, what they were looking for in Alaska was children exploring their sexuality.
ABC 57 reached out to the author, John Green, who said in part, Looking for Alaska is not a pornographic novel. It is a novel about loss and grief and radical hope.
Don't look at the monitor.
Retail sales in the U.S. continued to decline in December. Wednesday's report by the Commerce Department shows retail sales fell just over 1% from the previous month and continued high inflation. It marks the largest monthly retail sales decline since December 2021. It also more than economics were expecting.
Microsoft is laying off 10,000 workers, according to a security filing on Wednesday. The company says it's cutting costs in response to looming recession fears and changing customer priorities. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella said the cuts being made represent less than 5% of the company's total workforce, and that layoffs will be complete by the end of March.
Last year was a wild ride for the U.S. housing market. So what's in store for 2023? Economics and the CEO of the largest mortgage lending company in the U.S. weighs in on what we can expect this year. Cole Higgins has a look.
When it comes to the housing market, are we in for another roller coaster ride in 2023?
Next 12, 18, 24 months in housing is going to be
is going to be difficult.
Last year, mortgage rates doubled, sales plummeted, and many would-be buyers and sellers were sidelined. In recent months, home prices have cooled off from their blockbuster gains from spring 2020 to the spring of 2022, when home prices rose nearly 40%.
House prices rose very strongly during much of the pandemic, and we're just retracing some of those price gains.
Economist Mark Zandi says the direction of the market this year will be determined by the inventory, the broader economy, and mortgage rates. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed-rate mortgage averaged 6.33% in the week ending January 12th. That's down from 7.08% last fall, but well above 3.45% from a year ago. The CEO of Rocket Mortgage says relatively high mortgage rates have caused homeowners to reconsider selling their homes, and that's leading to higher competition for those fewer homes on the market.
But we're not seeing 15 offers on one home at this point in time. We're starting to see prices come down a little bit in certain markets.
So when would be a good time to buy a home this year? Experts say avoid the spring selling season when homes tend to sell for a seasonal premium when buyers are committed to getting it done. And if you're waiting for prices to get back down, some experts say you could be left holding your breath.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily a buyer's market yet. What I would say is it's a pretty even market between buyer and seller.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Cole Higgins.
Find out what caused a freight train to derail in Alaska and which states were affected most by the natural disasters in 2022. Stay with us.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
I am what hunger looks like in America. I am an 8-year-old girl who's not excited for the last day of school. Because this may be the last time I'll have lunch. Till September. I am a single father of 2 who works 3 part-time jobs. And that's still not enough to put food on the table. I was created by artificial intelligence from faces of the 1 in 8 Americans who struggle with hunger.
Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
I am so glad you ladies are here. You each have your own rooms.
Thank you.
Go.
Is it okay to call you Mom?
Of course you can.
Welcome back to the news feed. Taking a look at your weather. Currently outside, it's 57 degrees, sunshine and clouds. We have a nice day. We'll top out near 60 while we get to enjoy the nice weather here. Other parts of the country, not so lucky. As you see here, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 31 degrees and snowy. Chicago's gonna be 43 degrees. As we work over to the Rockies, 37 in Boise, 35 in Salt Lake. The reason why. Yesterday we had a cold front working all the way down through Kansas. It's bringing that Arctic blast with it. Today, it's continued to work its way down here to the southwest, 44 in Albuquerque, 25 in Denver. The Midwest, still gonna be pretty cold, 40 in St. Louis, 33 in Chicago, and 23 in Marquette. All the way to the northeast, Caribou, Maine, 24 and snowy. Tampa Bay, Florida, you get to enjoy the nice 75 degrees and sunny weather. Go enjoy the beach while you can. It's gonna be a beautiful weekend for you. Here currently, for our weekend, 61 degrees. 37 is going to be a low tomorrow night. Going into Sunday, 57 degrees. It'll be a nice day for the Cowboys versus 49ers game. And to start the work week off, the weather's going to be just as nice as well. 63 degrees, but that Arctic blast is working its way through. It should be here through Monday. 39 degrees Monday night, 51 on Tuesday. We're expecting some rain as well, so make sure you have your jacket and your umbrella on you. It's going to be cold, it's going to be wet. 33 degrees is your low on Tuesday, 54 for your high on Wednesday. 32 degrees, that's your freeze right there Wednesday night. Make sure you have your pipes wrapped, your house is winterized to prevent any problems as that cold blast comes through. 57 degrees on Thursday, and around your week off, 56 degrees on Friday. It's gonna be a little bit warmer Friday evening, 42 degrees. So keep your jacket on you all week. Be prepared for some cold weather coming for your 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Jason. Alaska Railroad says an avalanche is the cause of a derailed freight train about 40 miles south of Anchorage. 2 locomotives went off the tracks and a third one partially derailed. 2 members of the train crew were able to get out on their own and were not hurt. The train was transporting more than 6,000 tons of freight. More than 3 million people were displaced in the United States last year, all due to natural disasters. 1 million of those affected were in Florida, which was hit by Hurricane Ian in September. Louisiana also saw a large portion of its population displaced by multiple tornadoes that hit the state last year.
A new study has found that spending time in nature 3 to 4 hours a week reduces the need for some medication. The study interviewed approximately 6K random people in 3 of the largest cities in Finland. It found that those nature visits were also associated with lower odds of using blood pressure, anxiety, and asthma medications. According to the study, observing nature while indoors didn't appear to work. It didn't impact those use of medications. Parts of California are trying to move forward after being blasted with heavy flooding. We'll have the story when the news feeds return.
I tell my son, I love you every single day.
I love you.
Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
STEM is everywhere, like here, behind the scenes of The Walking Dead.
When we break down clothes, we tumble it with trisodium phosphate, rock salt, and dish detergent.
We stitched together images of our model and created a 3D set that could be walked through in a VR headset.
We're able to turn 12 walkers into 1,000 walker hordes.
STEM can create new worlds on and off the screen. What will you make with STEM? Get inspired at SheCanSTEM.com.
Every day, thousands of kids start vaping. And I can't let this happen to my kid. So if you want to talk to your kids, you have to get it trending.
No, you're doing it wrong.
Let's go.
Can we talk?
Yeah, what's up?
Visit talkaboutvaping.org for tips on when and how to have the vape talk.
California is trying to get back on its feet from a line of storms that killed 19 people since the Christmas week. As CNN's Natasha Chen reports, emergency crews are still working to save lives.
Dramatic helicopter rescues in California. Emergency crews rescued this woman while fighting high winds and heavy rain. The unrelenting storms have left California reeling, with deadly floodwaters, washed-out roads, and mudslides.
By some estimates, 22 to 25 trillion gallons of water have fallen over the course of the last 16, 17 days.
In the state, around 8 million people are still under flood watches, and thousands have been forced to evacuate after atmospheric river events left whole neighborhoods looking like lakes. But some are choosing to ride out the storms.
We just got our power back on 2 days ago, and now it just went out. So we're firing back up the generators, keep our freezers and refrigerators cold.
Several rivers have overflowed, including the Salinas River and Russian River, causing flooding in nearby communities. The large amounts of rain saturated the ground and caused roadways like this one in Pescadero to break away and slide down a cliff. And in Los Angeles, a downed tree crushed cars in a parking lot of a shopping mall.
It came down, and then there were 3 cars over there. They got hit. 4 people were in one car. 2 of them were able to get out okay. The other 2, we had to help them out, but no injuries.
One community got inventive, installing a zip line to cross the rushing waters after a bridge washed out.
Well, you live in the woods, you just kind of got to be prepared.
In Belmont, part of a hillside came down into a neighborhood. And in Fairfax, a mudslide displaced 19 people.
I thought I heard thunder. It was not thunder. It was a hillside giving way behind the 2 flats behind us. Trees went into their bathroom. It was coming down this broad and about this deep, all mud flow.
The Sierra Mountain region in Northern California saw up to 3 feet of snow in some places. The heavy snowfall left highways treacherous.
Kind of wishing it would quit for a while. I'm tired of it.
According to the Academy of Sleep Medicine, almost half of Americans sleep with their pets. Researchers give it a mixed review in terms of how it affects sleep quality. Susan Elizabeth Littlefield went to get a veterinarian's opinion.
Many agree having a pet at our side makes our days better, and for some, the nights too.
Where does Olive sleep?
In bed with us every night. Honestly, on top of me.
Where does Archie sleep?
Archie sleeps in bed with my husband and me.
My husband would disagree. He would prefer to sleep with just us, but she's such a good snuggler.
I feel definitely more comfortable when he's there.
So does Dr. Lindsay Merkel at the University of Minnesota Vet School.
So how many dogs sleep in your bed?
In our bed, 4 Chihuahuas and 1 miniature dachshund.
So 5 dogs in one bed.
5 dogs with two humans. Yeah, my husband and I.
So you may not be surprised to hear her answer to our question.
Should we let our dogs sleep with us?
Given everything that we understand about the benefits that we can gain from having animals in our bed sleeping with us, I think yes, having them sleep with us is a great idea.
So it can calm us, both of us, when we sleep together.
Yeah, it seems to bring out the beneficial hormones that we need for stress relief and, feeling good about ourselves, the dopamine and the oxytocin.
The Mayo Clinic did some research too. A sleep study tracked dogs sleeping in the bedroom and their humans. The study says having the dog in the bed can disrupt sleep, but having the dog on the floor by the bed does not. But as long as you don't have allergies and they don't have parasites, Dr. Merkel says it's okay to go all in.
It seems like the proof is that having them in your bed is actually beneficial for both of you.
I think a lot of our viewers are going to love it.
Exactly, I'm sure they are.
It's supposed to just be soothing for anxiety.
I didn't know that.
So you're not doing a bad thing.
No.
It's calming, there's dopamine.
I'm actually going to have to share that fact with my husband.
See, Archie, we were right all along.
Now I have an actual fact to convince him that we're doing the right thing.
We're being healthy for each other.
Yep. So snuggle in and don't look back.
Coming up next, a 12-year-old has a story to pass on for the rest of his life. You're watching the newsfeed.
Do you want to meet a family with a transgender kid? Here we are. Max loves to do backflips. Max loves to play his ukulele. Max loves to just be a kid and just be himself. When I found out I was pregnant, all I really wanted was a happy, healthy, whole child. And that's what I got. I think it's really important for people to know that trans kids don't have a political agenda. They are just kids. Like any parent, we love our kids unconditionally, and we will never stop fighting for them. Stand with us. Protect our families.
tell my son, I love you, every single day.
I love you.
Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Campbell Keenan was a normal 12-year-old from Massachusetts. Now he's not so normal because he caught a great white shark while fishing with his family off the coast of Florida.
Oh my God!
Put the rod down! Critical.
That's what I thought it was too, dude. You guys got a giant great white. Oh my God!
The Keenan family has quite the tale to tell. Visiting Fort Lauderdale from Massachusetts, they decided to go fishing. Campbell Keenan loves to fish.
Well, it was a pretty slow day. We were just catching some bait fish, and then all of a sudden,
something big bit their line.
When he first started reeling it in, it took out drag. I was like, is this thing gonna pull me in? Because I was just scared.
We had to hold on to him. We had to make sure he wasn't gonna go off the boat, and he had to hold on to the reel, and he was strapped in, but not really, so it was just, that was scary.
Campbell, just 12 years old, sat and continued to fight with the help of Captain Paul Palucci and David Jackson.
It took a while. It took 45 minutes or an hour to catch it. We knew we had something pretty substantial from the initial bite. It took about 300 yards out.
We were going to fight until the fight was over, you know, and it just so happened it was a great white.
Guys, this is a great white. This is like a hole-in-one in golf. This is like the most sought-after game fish in the world.
I was so excited for him because he loves fishing so much, and this is like the best you could ever imagine. And once we found out it was a great white, it was just, we were through the roof.
Reel that to the tip. Guys, I've been doing this since 2003. It's only the second one of these I've ever caught.
The fisherman reeling it in to take the line out of its mouth, then to measure and then tag it.
It's a little under 11. 130 inches long. It was about 450 pounds. And absolutely beautiful female. We're gonna let her go. She's still pretty lively. We got the tag.
They tagged her so experts can study her migration patterns. Then they let her go.
There she goes, guys.
There she goes. Feels very accomplishing. I mean, like the biggest fish that I ever caught before this was a 25-inch striper. This is a 130-inch great white shark.
Little guy did a great job catching it. Happened to be a great white. It was an awesome experience.
Thank you so much for joining us on the newsfeed.
We'll see you next week and have a great weekend.